it is 6 months since you released Space Police.
Already, okay.
Yeah, more or less. So, what do you think has been the response of the audience, of your fans? Also touring and...
Amazing. I mean, we had good reviews and we had good press reactions. Also some nice chart positions in Germany, for example, and it was doing pretty well. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is that you see that more and more people are coming to the shows. So that counts, in my opinion, much more than being on number 2 on the album charts or whatever. And another great thing is that you realize that people want to listen to new material. They're not just here to listen to Vainglory Opera and the old stuff and Babylon. They're also looking forward to the new material, and that shows up that the response is very good. People enjoy the album, and I'm still very proud of it, so everything's cool.
Good. Okay, so if you compare Space Police with your previous release, Age of the Joker, how do you think you have evolved? Which are the key factors?
It's really hard to put it in words. I think every album represents the band at a certain period of time.
Okay.
I mean, Space Police is exactly how Edguy sounds in 2014, and Age of the Joker was exactly how Edguy was sounding in 2011. So each album represents a state of mind, if you can tell, of a band's career.
Yeah.
And of course, sometimes you, with Age of the Joker, for example, we had the idea that it should have a very organic sound because we wanted to move a bit away from the loudness war that was going on back then. That's why the album sounds very organic and very smooth.
Okay.
And with Space Police, we wanted to go in a little bit heavier direction.
Okay.
But we didn't make up our minds before starting songwriting. I mean, one of the first songs was Saber and Torch from the new album, and then it was clear, okay, this direction is going to be a bit heavier than the previous one, so it came with no plan.
Okay, so do you think that there is an album of your past that has influenced most in Space Police?
All the albums.
All the albums?
Yeah, I mean, every album influences the next one, because for example, sometimes you try things the first time and then you realize, okay, let's do things differently. So it's everything has to do with experience and with moving forward. I mean, of course we wouldn't do the same album as Vainglory Opera again, because we've already done it. So there's no need to record the same album. But everything what you have done in your past, of course, has influence on your future. That's
okay. So I'm finally, regarding Space Police, what is the thing you are more proud of? A song, an instrument line of the album? Or
cover artwork.
Or the cover artwork.
Cover artwork. Sure. No, I think the whole album is, it sounds very fresh, and that we made ourselves a lot of time pressure. Like we set ourselves a deadline and then rushed into the studio and recorded the stuff. And the good thing about this is that you don't have the time to overthink things. So everything is very spontaneous, and you just recorded the song. Good, yeah, okay, next one, and then rushed into the next song. So it was a very fresh recording, and it was. Some songs have been a challenge musically, also, but
which ones do you think?
For example, Baba Yaga, Realms of Baba Yaga, very difficult guitar riff that Toby came up with. But we managed it. We're still willing to give our best, and we're still willing to learn things, and. Also, the Rock Me Amadeus cover version from Falco is something I really love. So there's a lot of things to be proud of on every album.
So a little bit of history now. It is around 20 years, more or less. You started with Edguy. Edguy started as a band. How do you see things now when you recall that times and you see now what you have reached as a band?
Well, of course.
Do you really think that this success will come when you were playing in a garage or?
No, of course not. I mean, of course, when you're starting a band, of course you have this. Wow, I want to be a rock star. And it's there. That's the reason why people start a band, right? Usually. But of course, it was especially at the beginning we had really tough times because nobody really supported us and nobody saw us like going somewhere. So, but we just stuck to it. We just believed in ourselves and continued doing the best thing that we could. And For us it was everything was step by step, so it was not like from one to the other album we've been successful. It was really hard work. Every demo tape that we released, every album, every support tool that we did got us a little more success and got us a little bigger. And we're still growing. You see, this is as you said, we're more than 20 years existing, and this is the most successful tour we have done so far. So it shows us that there are still some headroom left to go. So that's very important. We don't sit. Of course, sometimes we sit down and relax, but we don't take success for granted. Like it's something you have to work for, and you have to something. Especially nowadays, I mean, since record sales are going down, everything, the music industry is totally fucked. You really have to rethink what you're doing, and you really have to work hard to make the people come to your shows and buy your albums and support you, because it's we're not the only band out there playing heavy rock. So there's a few more existing.
And your evolution as a musician, how do you think during these 20 years you have evolved as a musician?
Yes, I think we have an evolution as musicians. At least I hope. No, it's really when we started recording albums, like back then people considered us more as a 100% power metal band with double bass songs and stuff like that. But the thing is, back then we couldn't do other things. Like sometimes it's really playing fast double bass. It's just training. It doesn't have to do with musicianship. But playing a really solid groove, that is something you have to learn over the years. And that's how we throughout the years we learned. We became better, and that's what you're also listening when you listen to the albums. You see that more and more influences are coming, more and more styles are being bound together, and this is just happening through evolution and through working on yourself and try out new things. For example, on Age of the Joker we had the dobro guitar and Hammond organ and all that stuff. That's something we couldn't do 15 years ago because we just didn't know how to play it. Just we were young.
And you personally?
I also think I have improved a little bit. At least I hope. No, I think you can listen to it. Nowadays, I think we became a very, very strong live band. But also that came through rehearsing. For this tour, we did a lot of rehearsing. We switched from a regular monitor sound to in-ear monitoring to have more control over the sound. And I think we're. At least that might sound arrogant, but I have the feeling we are pretty solid now when we're playing a live show. It's good.
Okay, so it is not common that you are like a rare abyss in the metal scene, because you keep the original lineup of the band. How do you have managed to do that, to get that?
Superpowers. It's just as simple as that. It's superpowers. Everybody in the band can speak and listen. That's it. I mean, of course, there are sometimes a different opinion on different things, but we can sort it out. We can talk about things and discuss things in a very adult way. Of course, sometimes there's also screaming and everything, but at the end of the day, we can sit down and really just discuss things if we have different opinions. And everybody, I think I have the feeling everybody is really happy having this band and having this stable lineup and being able to travel around the world and play for fans your music. So nobody would throw it away too easily. So it's just for some ego bullshit or whatever. So we really try to focus on what is important and what is the best thing for the band. And
so which one of your releases, which is I think they are 10 full-length albums, which one are you more proud of?
That's a silly question somehow, because you don't ask parents which is your favorite kid. Okay, it's just of course, I mean, nowadays, as I said previously, we wouldn't do an album like Vainglory Opera again, because nowadays we are better musicians, we know we're better songwriters, we're better performers, but every album led us to where we are right now. So you can say this album was, I'm more proud of this or more proud of that. Of course, I can say Vainglory Opera was a very important album because it was like the breakthrough album, the album that got us the first attention in the international press and everything. And you can say that Hellfire Club, for example, was also a very important album because it was the first album that we released via Nuclear Blast with having advertisements on TV and stuff. And you can also say Mandrake was a very important album because it was our first album that we did a headliner tour with.
Okay.
And even Space Police is a very important album because it's a good album and it will influence the next album. So it's I'm proud about our past. You know, there's nothing I would regret. Of course, looking back, you can say, we could have done things better here and there, but well, we're here and we're happy, so we must have done something right.
Sure. You are playing now some fragments of Iron Maiden during your tour. Why? Which is the reason?
Because Iron Maiden is a great band. No, this actually it really happened a couple of years ago, quite spontaneously, when Toby was just singing the song to make the people scream the Trooper, and then we jumped in, and everybody was like, we were surprised, like, oh, we can play this song. Everybody in the band, and it's just a funny moment. It's something that that gets the audience and gets the attention of the people, and of course, I mean, everybody in the band is Iron Maiden fans, so
yeah, sure.
It's every now and then it's good to show some respect and to pay some tribute.
Okay. So my last question. About the future, which are the next steps? What do you have planned for the short, mid-term?
Yes, we have plans. Playing 3 more shows, then going home. No, as I mentioned, this tour is already about 10 weeks long or something, so we have done some things already. But it feels good. It was, as I said, the most successful tour we have done so far, having sold-out shows in Japan and in England and even in Spain. Madrid was sold out. So we're pretty happy with that, and now it's about finishing this tour. Then we play some festivals in Germany, indoor festivals, and then we're going to South America at the end of the year, and then we will see probably some more festivals next year, and yeah, then we will see. We're not the people that think too far in the future. We'll just focus on what's next and try to make this as good as possible.
Okay.